Headaches, shortness of breath, stomach pains, and difficulty sleeping. Sound familiar to you? These are signs of anxiety, and anxiety is common among us nursing students. According to the US Census Bureau in 2017, nearly 3/4 of college students have experienced a sense of overwhelming anxiety at some point, and close to 30% report having experienced anxiety in the last 2 weeks. As nurses, we can help college students reduce their anxiety by promoting healthy behavior change. One way to do this is using the Transtheoretical Model, which includes 5 stages. In our first one, we have pre-contemplation. So going to our example of the college student who has anxiety, this is when the college student is not going to make any change within the next 6 months. Basically, this is when the college student isn't aware that having anxious behaviors is problematic. Often, people in this stage underestimate the pros and cons of changing behavior. So on this graph here, if we see that the horizontal line X is by time and our vertical line is Y by change, we are right here in the pre-contemplation stage where basically the college student isn't going to make any changes. In other words, they're not ready. All right, so the second stage is contemplation. In this stage, the college student starts to recognize that his or her behavior is problematic, and they're going to start to think about ways to change that behavior in the next 6 months. So basically, the college student is aware of the problem and wants to make change in the next 6 months. So on our graph, we've moved from pre-contemplation to standing up. Think about it that way. And they're saying, okay, I'm getting ready. In our third stage, we have the planning or preparation. This is when the college student intends to take action within the next months, and they start with small changes towards that desired behavior. So to reduce their anxiety, maybe instead they are starting to follow some yoga instructors on Instagram and look up different yoga moves. They maybe even try a yoga session on YouTube and doing just like a quick 20-minute class. So back to our visual here, the college student now moves to start to run towards this hill. So basically, they're getting ready. Think of it of SpongeBob. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. All right, now our fourth one, we have action. So this is when the college student is actually doing yoga every day and sometimes even does it twice a day. Overall, the behavior change has been going on for less than 6 months. So on our graph, they've progressed up the hill, they've overcome barriers and made a change. So they're in the positive area of that graph, if everyone remembers calculus and stuff. All right, in other words, think of this as the Nike swoosh sign, just do it. They're getting it done. And then finally, our fifth stage, we have maintenance. And this is when the college student continues to practice yoga and other mindful techniques for at least 6 months. So they've been pretty consistent with it. And on our graph here, we can see that they stay above this line. So they're continually stay and having those positive healthy behaviors, and they change. And I drew it kind of like wavy here because I wanted to show that sometimes people can sustain a change, which is maintenance, but sometimes they kind of waver, but they still have made that change. So they've still been consistent with it. They never go back down and relapsing. In other words, this person has successfully sustained a behavioral change and they've created a habit. The Transtheoretical Model has also 3 important concepts to consider. Decisional balance, which basically means the college student is weighing out the pros and cons of making that change. So they're wondering, is this all worth it? The second one is situational self-efficacy. This is when the college student believes in him or herself that they can do this. They have the confidence that they can lower their anxiety levels and that they can do this through yoga and they enjoy it. The third one is change processes. So these are interventions that are making the change. So what exactly does the college student do to reduce his or her anxiety? In this case, it's through yoga, but other options can be talking to a primary care physician about anxiety and possibly getting a prescription to help control it. And it could also be signing up for a membership at a local yoga studio. Now, there are limitations to the trans-theoretical model. One, it ignores a person's social context. So it doesn't factor in like their income, their education, or their social economic status overall. And then the second one is that there is actually no known time needed at each stage. So there's this concept of within at least 6 months, but 6 months is just pretty arbitrary. So before we go, let's go ahead and bring our hands to our heart, close our eyes, take a deep breath in, exhale out, and say namaste. Thank you.